Hi guys, welcome back to the channel for today's upload. It's going to be a quick one, a short one. Just wanted to share a few investments which I've made with you guys. First, let's begin with the transfer list. So nothing exceptional. I got the coins on Suso, whom I had in my club. I do think I packed this card, so it's not much like it's completely profit, so I didn't really buy that card. Ruud van Nistelrooy, I showed you guys on yesterday's upload that I managed to get him on bid at 780. So basically, this is about 25k profit after tax, which I'm kind of happy. At the moment, I'm trying to make as much coins as I can for team of the season, maybe to afford a few cards. Any sort of profit at the moment is pretty good. I am trying to sell 283s right over here. In terms of the investments, now I still have all those Cannavaros, Nedved, and all of that, and De Bruyne. I've got around five of him at the moment. I do not expect sales on those unless I do get a lazy buyer to bite on them. But otherwise, I do expect these cards to start selling on rewards day or maybe the day after the second squad is announced. So here's the investment. I bought a few Gaitans for 20 up to 21. The reason being is that I just don't know how much lower he will end up going. At 20k, he's basically very cheap. His quick sell is around 10k if I'm not mistaken. So I do not see any sort of risk on that card. Like how much lower can it go? And once again, 5 star, 4 star, even though he's medium, but once again, I do think a few people will try and put this card in their team just in order to have a fit birthday in their squad. Now, we do know, we've seen it with every single promo. The cheapest card always gain in value no matter what, because people just want to include one of those players into their squads. And basically, looking at him, I just couldn't understand how come he's that cheap. Maybe it's due to the supply that's there on this card, but once again, 4 star, 5 star, it's really good, and I don't see any sort of risk at this point because it's only 20k. It's not like I'm paying 50k for that card, so I'm just lazy listing them at the moment, trying to see if maybe a few can lazy sell. But meanwhile, I'll just go ahead and lazy list them until they're into profit, and then I'll readjust the price. There's a few more which I bought. I do think those Jennes and those Korea were from yesterday's upload. I still have the Koulibalis. I bought a Felix. Now, I do have a Felix in my team, which I'll show you guys. I showed you on yesterday's upload as well. I got a Felix in my team that I bought for 1.45. While I was looking at his price yesterday, I saw one listed on the market for around, it was up for like 2-3 minutes at 1.406, which basically it's almost 1.4 flat. I do think this card it was very cheap at that time. I still haven't looked at his price, so we're gonna go ahead and look at his price together to see if there's profit on this card. I wouldn't be surprised if he's somewhere around 1.45. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, so he's already up there at 1.45. I do think during weekend league I may be able to get 1.55 for him. Maybe, I'm not all that certain, but either way, it's almost a no risk trade in my opinion, because I don't see even the second squad releasing a player of that caliber. He's very good. Those ones were from yesterday. Koulibalis are still there. Lucas Moura, the investment is still there. A lot of informs, which I'm gonna start taking profit as soon as they go into profits. A few more De Bruyne's here. I do think I bought all of them today. Yeah, so I did. Yeah, this one was bought at 92. That one was bought yesterday at 105. This one was bought at 92, and the other one was bought. Okay, so these two were bought yesterday and these two were bought today. So I do think Lozano, the cheapest he may go will be around 80k. I don't see this card dropping below 80k. And the reason being that I went ahead and started buying them is that I see the risk reward. The risk is maybe 10k lower. The reward is just so much higher. And once again, I do think during rewards, we've seen it with shapeshifters as well. Those cards, a lot of people are waiting for rewards day to buy them. Now, I'm not encouraging you guys to buy them now unless you have a lot of coins. Otherwise, I would just say be safe and make sure you buy them on rewards day. at that time you may see them at their lowest, or if not, they will be rebounding a bit, but at least you would be getting into those cards while it's in the uptrend, right? So unless you have a lot of coins, I'm not recommending this. I don't want you guys to lose coins just because I'm buying them. So, but I do think they're very cheap at the moment. And at the end of the day, I do think on rewards day these cards will be less packable than at the moment. We do know EA likes to play with the pack odds, so they may drop it down just in order to maybe stabilize the market on those cards. So I did go ahead and buy two Lozanos there. I bought four Correas at 89, 88, and 90. That 95 was bought yesterday, I'm pretty sure about that. So I bought three Correas there. Okay, yeah, this 95, well, it was also bought today, but I bought it for 5k more because it had a hunter on him. So, okay, yeah, I do remember this now. So all four of them were bought today. Now, in terms of my other investments, which I really like, I would put Cancelo. This is most probably the only card I'll invest in that I still haven't. I really like Cancelo at that price, and I really do think this card will be one of the biggest risers out of packs. The reason being, he's from the Prem, he has very good links, and I have him in my team, and I do know this guy is a true baller. He's really good in game. He has been doing a fantastic job for me, and once again, if he had that 5-star weak foot, he would be less valuable to me than having the 5-star skill moves, because a lot of people don't shoot with their fullbacks. If you have a look at my team, I do have fullbacks like Mendy that I've played almost 500 games with, and I have about 1 or 2 goals with them. I'm not really sending my fullbacks to attack, right? I have them on stay back while attacking. So once again, that 5-star skill moves is key. I do think this is the only other card that I'm gonna invest in, unless a few others that I like drops furthermore. But this is basically the only card left for me to pick up. Now, I've been doing a lot of League SBCs, which I'm gonna show you guys right here. In my favorites, I have my favorite League SBCs, which is the Bundesliga. The packs it offers are just amazing. The Serie A, the Prem, La Liga, and those two CONMEBOL ones, right? So I completed La Liga today, completed both of the CONMEBOL ones as well. I used the fodders with some other fodders that I had from League SBCs, and I did a mid-icon upgrade pack. So it ended up costing me around 70k, because I did have a lot of SBC fodders that I packed through the 81 plus. Now that 8491 is a scam. You guys may end up packing a few good players, but overall you're gonna end up packing so many 84s from that. But that 81 plus double upgrade is really good for me. So I took all those fodders and did a mid icon pack. And I just ended up packing one of my favorite CDMs in the game, which is Patrick Vieira. I still haven't played with him. I just applied the shadow on him before doing the video. Now, if you guys have been a sub in the channel or watching the videos from before, then you do know how hard it was for me to sell Patrick Vieira. About a few months ago, I sold him, and it was really hard, but I did know at that time that he would drop, so I took around 2.2 mil for that card, which I had bought at 1.75, so it was very good profit back then, and I didn't know that he was gonna drop. So I packed him. I'm very happy for that. He's around 1.9 mil on the market, which is really good. So as usual, I ended up packing a midfielder, but this time I did pack one of my favorite midfielders in the game. Just an insane card. Now, in terms of League SBCs, guys, I've been packing a lot of good stuffs. I packed Lucas Moura as well. those four league SBCs are really, really good. The packs back in return are very, very good. And what happens at the end is that you end up getting stuck with the expensive teams, right? Like for example, Paderborn. And what happens then is that after I complete all of them with the cards that I've packed through rewards or foot draft or whatever, or the pack supply, what I do is that I complete them with coins. It ends up costing me around 70 to 80k, sometimes a bit more. Let's say maximum 100k, but I do get a very good fodder in exchange, and the packs back in return are very good. So it always ends up being a profit for me, always, always. And I would highly recommend you guys to do those league SBCs. The packs are very, very worth it, especially during a promo. So in terms of the overall market, we should expect the market to start rising. If you guys are interested into buying a guy like Rashford, I would like, if I was looking to buy him for my team, I would most probably just buy him today. I just don't see how this card will drop below 1.5 mil. And the reason being is that this card has such high demand, and people really, really like using Marcus Rashford. And if you just look at his stats, 5 star, 5 star, I just can't see this card dropping even a bit. So even on rewards day, it would not shock me to see this card just jumping in value. And if you guys are interested in some of those players, like especially the expensive players, guys like Antoine Griezmann, for example, I do think those cards are currently at their cheapest at the moment. I really don't see these cards being packed a lot during rewards day. And we may see some panic now. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I just do not see those cards dropping. The demand is just so high for those cards. Even if you try, just go ahead and put a few in your transfer target, the cheapest one, and have a look. 10 to 20 minutes later, that card will be bought. So I just don't see them dropping. So I would go ahead and buy them if you are looking to buy them for your teams. In terms of the team of the week, they should start rising starting tomorrow. I really do expect guys like Lucas Moura, Koulibaly, especially Koulibaly is one of the best investments in my opinion. De Bruyne is very cheap at the moment. I do expect him to rise a fair bit tomorrow or day after tomorrow during rewards day. Um, what you guys want to do is to take advantage of the lightning rounds this weekend to buy the fodders, right? I did show you guys Neto yesterday was around 12k. If we have a look at his price today, he's kind of cheaper at the moment. So there is an opportunity of buying them at the moment, but I would still recommend waiting for rewards, because the supply that we're gonna get from rewards, from marquee matchups, and from the lightning rounds should be enough to drop those prices a fair bit, and that should help you guys to maybe do a club stock. Otherwise, okay, so here's an example. I just put a Griezmann cheapest one in my transfer target to show you guys, and it's been barely a minute and he has sold. So the demand is just so high on those cards, and to pack those cards, it's extremely difficult. Even if you look at whatever people get from their rewards, except the top 100, the rest of the people just don't get very good packs in order to pack such expensive players, and it's very difficult. So I would advise to buy those cards if you're looking to buy them for your team. Otherwise, the content is pretty stale at the moment. Everything is pretty quiet. I would expect the market to start showing some signs of going higher. I really don't expect a lot of panic selling. And if you guys want to invest, have a look at a player. I'll give you guys an example. Let's say we go for a cheaper player, right? Let's say Mo Salah, for example. Let's have a look at Mo Salah. And this is how I trade, right? I go on Mo Salah, for example. I look at his central card, which should be around 620, maybe 640. Okay, so he's around, wow, he's super high at the moment. Okay, so he's around 659. What I'll try to do is to look for an undercut, whether it's through bids or it's through the buy now, but I'm gonna look for an undercut. And once again, this is not the best time to buy the cards. Whenever, like, you guys should be aware on your console, whether it's an Xbox or a PS4, about the live transfer amount, right? At the moment, I've got 3 million listings, which means it's not the time to buy, it's basically the time to sell. because there's way less listings. So what you should be looking at is at a time where there's 6 million listings. Like for me, it's usually 6 million listings at content drop. This is the time when the cards are almost at their cheapest, because there's a lot of people listing cards and a lot of undercuts. So the more listings you get on a card, the more undercuts there are. And if we have a look, for example, right here with Mo Salah, this is a card that has a fair bit of supply, but at the moment you won't see a lot of them on the market because there's just less listings at the moment. And even if we go on a more expensive card, it should be the same thing. Let's have a look at Haaland, for example. Haaland is another card that usually has around 2 pages of supply, but at the moment there's less than 1 page, and he's pretty high at the moment. So you guys should be aware of the live transfer amount. That is very important, because I do think whenever I see 6 million listings, I do know in between 5 million to 6 million, and if it's higher, it's even better. This is when the cards are at their cheapest, because someone is just undercutting the other, and it just happens constantly, and the cards get cheaper. If you guys have questions, just let me know in the comments section of the video. I'll try my best to answer every single comment, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next one. Bye.